Welcome to Rauta's Underground Trio. Once again, we have three different albums from the Underground, and these are rather old ones, 2021 releases from Satanath and GrimmDistribution. Basically, same label or sub-labels of one another. Anyhow, I will of course go through these three different releases in the order I feel worst to best according to my own opinion. Once again, feel free to disagree. I will just quickly show you these in alphabetical order before I will guide you through in the order I see best fit, and that's when you're going to talk about it. First, Autumn Leaves Scars, a black metal band from Romania. Then we go to Egypt with Osiris, an Egyptian extreme metal act. And finally from Costa Rica, Troberoth, thrash metal. Alright, let's put this in the order I feel most comfortable with, calling worst to best. Egyptian extreme metal, Osiris. Now, of course, when people are thinking extreme metal about Egyptian themes and all, I think Nile comes to people's mind first, and for a reason. They've been doing it since the 90s, and lots of gigs and tours and what have you throughout the years with quality music and all that stuff. But there are other bands, one including this band from Cairo, Egypt, called Osiris. There are plenty of bands, so when you go looking for metal archives with search function, make sure that you get the Egyptian one, or you can use the link provided in the description box. Now, this is actually quite an old band, but they already split up once, only to come back quite a bit later. So, debut album out quite late. 2 man's bands later on, and music. Well, that's the tricky part, because technically speaking, you can call it melodic black metal, you could call it melodic metal, you can call it melodic death metal, and so on, so on, so on. The thing here with this album is, and whatever this is, Meanders Soul, yeah. Not very catchy title, to be honest. So, the thing here with this album is, it's actually putting together various ideas. But basically you can call it melodic death black or melodic black death. It doesn't really matter. You have the ingredients of both styles, and they are put together in order to create somewhat of a 1990s sounding album. When it comes to production, the vocals, songwriting parts, melodies, riffs, whatever, or even those atmospheric keyboard parts, it reeks of the 90s. In a good way, but that is assuming you like 1990s metal to begin with. Some parts are like taking you to the Gothenburg sound from Sweden, you know, the melodic death metal parts, or mellow metal. And some are more like just generic Nordic sounding black metal part. Nothing here is fundamentally wrong, but let's be honest about it. It feels like they're really doing the first album, the debut one. Meaning there's a lot of demo-ish ideas. Nothing really sticks, nothing is very memorable. There are no absolutely great songs on this one. That doesn't mean it's useless, but it's kind of a lukewarm, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't start the hating like, if it's good, you're gonna hate it. No, I'm not gonna hate it. I'm just saying this is one of those kind of a 6 out of 10 albums, which is very easy to listen to, but also equally as easy to just forget. Nothing spectacularly fundamentally interesting here, but let's hope the guys won't take another 30 years to figure out the second album. And sorry for the sunlight. This is a rarity in September in Finland. So, then we go to Costa Rica with this thrash band, Troberoth. And this is their second album, Fallen Angel. What a classic album name. I mean, you could really think about going back to 80s with this kind of a stuff. This isn't so much like a booklet like that one, but opening like this. So you have very basic lyrics, liner notes, all that stuff, band photos of the guys. And this is kind of like, I don't know, in a way, this tries to be badass, kind of a little bit deathy, trashy thingy. But it sounds like they are having drum machine. Based on the information I got, it's not really the thing here. I mean, it says here even the drums, I have to double check so I'm not full of shit here. And it also says on Metal Archives they have a drummer, but the drum mixing here is very, very much like, are you really using a drum machine? But maybe it's just so poorly recorded and mixed and all that stuff. So it sounds like, I don't know, very, very drum machine-like. When it comes to riffs, they have good energy and all, but nothing is spectacular here. And overall production is a little bit off. I mean, it's much like a very, very much demo in progress. You kind of get the nice ideas and you get the good energy and all, but like I said, these songs are not that good, to be honest. Vocalist is more on the deathier side of thing with the rather angry grunting and all. Could be really more different, more personal, like not personal, but like, I don't know. It could be more personality, let's put it this way. Some kind of a, maybe a little bit trashier, just in general. So now it's more like between, not really growly, but not really like, the thrash metal sound which you're using, like half dirty, clean vocals with quotation marks. Now, these are of course all details and all that stuff, and when you come back to the very basic, you're like, I get it, these guys are trying to do good thrash metal so badly, but they just don't have the good songs. It's very, very easy to listen to. Nothing really here annoys me except for the drum machine sounding drums. But beyond that, it's one of the very, very basic things, and as such, quite easy to put on and, like put on the background and like move on to better direction. Once again, nothing bad, but not exactly good. So finally, we go to Romania with this rather weirdly, annoyingly named album, Autumn dot Leaves dot Scars. I don't know why you have to go so metalcore name with like that. You could just call Autumn Leaves Scars, rather Autumn Leaves Scars. Like, I don't know if you have a problem with that. Then you have some German sounding title. I'm not gonna even pretend I'm gonna pronounce it, so let's move on. Comes with a full booklet, and this band actually has quite a few albums already there, so it's not really the kind of a band that like, hey, we're doing our first or second album and figuring out what to do. Now my only question is why they wanted to go with the German things, but I don't know. Who cares? Does it really matter? And two guys, and this is actually, I guess on Metal Archives listed as post-black partially, but really you could call it kind of atmospheric black metal, and wouldn't make a difference whether you call it post-black or atmospheric black metal. Thing here is, they have some cool ideas here. It's kind of a dark, it's very atmospheric, and it's almost like getting the momentum to go on with the given songwriting and all. But let's be honest about it, nothing here is exactly very memorable, let alone catchy or, making waves or going wow. But then again, it's pretty easy to get into the atmosphere and all. So for me, this sounds like a filler album. You would pick it to go between the better ones. You just like, I don't know, get into a different mood and whatever. Or more like an opening act for your local black metal night. But if I were to ask, like, would I go to the gig when the band would coming to my town? Nope. Would I see them if they opened for some better act? Probably so. So kind of a tricky, I mean, they basically have the things that you kind of need for this genre. But this genre is dotted with lots and lots of bands which do the same or similar style, but with better things like songwriting, production, vocals. These are the parts, especially the vocals are like a little bit too basic and nothing, aggressive is not enough. I mean, it's not dark enough, really to challenge a lot of black metal bands. It's not really atmospheric ones to really challenge the best one in the games. So it's more like in the middle. It's kind of like half post black metal, if you know what I mean. Meaning it's not really all the way through. It's not like all in for the post black metal thing. And it's not really your typical black metal. It's like a transition phase album for a while. Yet still, I would say this is the best of the pile because they have the best atmosphere and they have nothing really to nag about versus what Osiris and that thrash band had right there. So quite a bit decent, but of course these are all different styles, so it depends what you want there. Links are provided in the description box. Go and figure out which ones you want to listen to, or if there is any of you want to listen to this time. But there you have it. Now you know a little bit more. And links will provide you music and more information. So clickety-click and good luck with that. More reviews coming your way. Take care.